Hello YouTube. I have received another flag from Tennessee from Mr. Tom Goodman from Jackson, Tennessee. So here's the wall of flags growing, and you can see the wind's a little bit strong here today. But yeah, the collection's getting bigger, and thank everybody for supporting this channel. Today I'm going to be working on some roof trusses. So we'll take a walk over here and show you what's going on here with the sawdust bin. And there you are, there's Tennessee. We're going to try to make this as quick and easy as possible, so that way Saturday we can get the roof structure on this bin. And here's one of the trusses here that's finished. And if you notice, on one end I put an orange spot of paint. And when you're building them on a jig, you want to make sure that that side stays all together, so that way when you set these trusses, everything will absolutely line up for you. What I got going on over here is one truss on the bottom is going to be the template for the rest of them. That way you can tweak them all just to make everything line up perfectly, so when you put your sheeting on, everything will work here. So I had went ahead and made some plywood gussets. This is for the center and got the angles cut on it, and then I also made the pieces for the ends. So what you do is you're going to glue this together with some good construction adhesive and basically shoot them. And it's cheaper than truss plates, and that OSB, once it's under roof, it won't get wet. That'll last for many years. A lot of people have done this in the past. So we'll go ahead and give you some demonstration on how I made all the templates, and we'll get moving on this. So be with you here in a minute. All right, just some simple templates here, and nothing more than some OSB. And I cut all the angles. I had basically chalked some lines on a sheet of plywood and figured out all these angles. These are some really hard angles. So all you're going to do, basically, you're going to trace it. And then I didn't have something over 8 foot, so I just put a little block here to make the right length. Then here's the 412 pitch at the top. When you're dealing with rough cut lumber, as you can see, this board here is just a little bit over 4 inches. Some of it's a little bit under. It's rough cut. That's just what it is. And also I made a template for the center leg in this truss, and these will vary in length because we want to keep the same distance from the bottom strand of that truss to the top of that truss. So if you have a little bit thicker board on the top and bottom, that board will be a little bit shorter. If you have a little bit thinner board on the top and bottom, that'll be a little bit longer. But you just adjust it as it goes. The most important thing is to make sure that the tops of that truss absolutely line up. So we'll go ahead and get one of these completely cut out, and I'll show you some assembly here in a second. Okay, we're ready to start putting these plates on. So all we're going to do is put a generous amount of glue, and I ran this plate all the way through instead of making a separate top bottom plate. It'll just be that much stronger. And I'm using 1.5 inch staples, 1/4 crown staples to tack it with. Then we'll send some 6-penny ring shank nails in it. And the reason I'm doing that, the ring shank nails we have are just a little bit too long, and they will not clear the concrete, so we'll be shooting through to the other side. So if we put this on first, and any good construction adhesive will work. This stuff's been sitting for a while, so it's a little thick, so this is a good place to use it up. And you just want to make sure it's below the surface for nailing. Okay, we'll go ahead and flip this over and we will do the other side, and then we'll send the bigger nails in it. So be with you here in a second. Okay, we got the truss flipped over. So we're going to go ahead and repeat this process. I got the glue down. Okay, now we'll get the big gun, and then we'll send the ring shank nails in. And that'll lock her down. Now we'll go ahead and flip it over and we'll nail the other side, and this truss is completed. 4 more to go and we'll be ready for the roof. And we'll be doing that on Saturday, so be with you here in a minute. Okay, we're back and it is Wednesday now. And there it is, the last truss. And here is the progress that we had made here. So there it is. There's 6 of the roof trusses, and we'll be ready to put this up on Saturday with the Eddie Horvath. And everything's drying out very nicely here. So, and then here's the first sawdust that went into the bin, and it looks like it's going to be landing about right where we want it to, with very little adjustment. So once we get this under roof, this sawdust will be continuously dry, and then them wooden sleepers on the bottom there, that's going to be for the bucket to ride on. And you can see right here that I had actually run it up there one time, and we can't pick up no dirt or gravel, so that's going to work perfect instead of putting a few $100s into concrete we don't need. So take a walk around the backside here, and again, I told you we painted the end of the trusses so that when we go to put them up, they were assembled in the same fashion as they're going to go up. So not bad for a little bit of elbow grease. It's all about saving money here. And we'll take a walk up to the kiln container here, and we made some progress here too. We're going to be ready to start on the chamber anyway. I believe we're going to go with a company by the name of Nile. They're well known in the industry. And we got ourselves some polyisocyanurate insulation, and these are 2 foot by 7 foot panels. And again, what we're going to do is put some 2x4s, and well, we'll get 2x6s and cut them in half. We're actually going to buy that lumber because ours is green, and I don't want to take a chance of doing that. So every 3rd rib we'll put a piece of wood blocking in there, and then we'll put the insulation like this with the wood behind it, and then we're going to put a piece of 7/16 OSB, which is oriented strand board, and then we'll send a screw through the board, through the foam, into the stud, and that way we can paint the inside of this to protect it even more. So the kiln carts will be another project to do. There's just everywhere you look, there's a project. And we'll take a quick walk over to the log yard here. We had got some monster spruces in and some more pine, so I'll be with you here in a second. We get over to the log yard. All right, we're in the log yard here. There's some nice white pines that had come in, and these are yard trees, and these would never have made it any further than being cut up and thrown in a landfill. and or burned or whatever. So we ended up with these. There's a nice stick of white pine over there. And we got a nice big, this was brought in a while ago, but this is still very valuable. This is a nice piece of northern white pine. And we'll have to do a video sawing something like that on that mill, because it'll be every bit that mill can handle. And we'll get the old stop sign method. There ain't no other way to do it without a top saw. Here's a big piece of spruce here. And this is pushing every bit of 3 foot, and that's got to be the better part of 20 foot long. They've been taking a lot of yard trees out lately. Yeah, here's more of them here. I mean, some of the spruce is almost borderline clear. That is as knotty as you can get. And these are some nice, just straight long logs. Some of these got to be the better part of 20 foot, maybe more. So there'll be a lot of stuff coming up for you to see. And the wind hasn't been nice to us lately. We got the flags all tangled up again. That's an ongoing battle. But we're making some progress here. So I will see everybody on Saturday morning with the Eddie Horvath. And we're going to be sawing up the rest of the stuff for the sawdust bin. We're going to do the roof sheeting. We're going to do the wall sheeting. And hopefully we be putting trusses up and putting some sheeting down. And eventually we'll put a tin roof on there. But for now, we're just going to put some pine boards down and put some of that titanium paper down that lasts, oh, you get a year out of it anyway. You use button caps like the old felt paper used to blow off all the time. So everybody have a great rest of your week. And we will talk to you on Saturday. So we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.